8 months ago, I set myself on a mission. Make $10,000 in 1 year as a student with no full-time job, just pure hustle. And since then, I've taken on every way I can make money, from snow shoveling to selling things online, accepting dares for money, becoming a human vending machine, and a whole bunch of odd jobs I would have never imagined doing. Some weeks I feel absolutely unstoppable, but other weeks I barely make any money. But every dollar has pushed me closer to the goal. March has been very weird with its own ups and downs. Well, more downs than ups. Let me explain. You see, it started at the beginning of the month when I was looking for ways that I could make money. This was mainly because my Facebook Marketplace store wasn't getting many sales, I was barely soccer reffing because there was not really any games available, and the yard work season hadn't arrived yet. I kept refreshing marketplace listings, scrolling through Facebook to see if anyone needed me for yard work, and I even considered becoming a human vending machine again at school. But I decided not to because I had put in a lot of work for only around $8 of profit. The effort really outweighed the profit. But then, towards the middle of the month, I hit it like a wall. I wasn't making any money from any of my ideas, but honestly that's been the pattern of this challenge. Some dry spells, weird jobs, and random lucky breaks where I'm making lots of money. So while I was in this dry spell, I decided to count my blessings instead of panic about making money. Because I had already made thousands of dollars, I needed to be grateful for that. Because if I go through life, keep wanting to make more and more money, I'll never be grateful for what I have. So I took about 2 weeks in March just to take a break from the $10,000 challenge. And when I took that time to rest and look back at all the work that I had done, I felt more grateful for what I had accomplished thus far. Reffing or selling things on Facebook Marketplace, I was still coming up with ideas on how to make more money. One idea I've been thinking about for a while, but I started to develop now, was a dog walking business. So during the 2-week break, I came up with a flyer for my potential business, and I wanted to see if it was any good. So I shared it with a few friends, and they really liked it. So I want to keep that in the back of my mind as always a possibility that I could make money that way. Now, the only reason that I'm not pursuing it immediately is because I already have a dog, and he's already enough to take care of. No more another dog. But like I said, nevertheless, it'll always be a potential idea. But anyways, towards the end of my 2-week break, one of my assigners for soccer reached out to me and said if I wanted to work for him during the weekend. And even though I was still on the break, I was like, sure, might as well start making money again. He gave me a couple night games that I would be reffing under the lights. The games went very uneventfully, which is always good, but it was also really cold, and now that I realize it as I'm editing this video, I got a very cool shot of the moon. But anyways, the games were very light, and in total, for the Friday night that I reffed, I made $90. The following day on Saturday, I just had one game, and even though it was one game and it wasn't really worth it to go all the way there just for that one game, I thought it was worth it because I wasn't making money this month. So I did that game and I got $60. And for my final set of games to referee on the weekend, I had a total of 3 on Sunday afternoon and I made $200 from that. So in total, I made $350 from one full weekend of refereeing, which isn't shabby at all. What's also not shabby is finding $1.37 on the ground in the month of March. Pennies, dimes, quarters, and nickels are literally everywhere. You just have to have the eyes to find them. So whenever you're at a public place with family or friends, make sure to keep your eye out to see if anything flashing on the ground catches your attention. About a week ago, Rachel wrote to me on Marketplace asking if she could buy a Buzz Lightyear backpack that I was selling for a friend. She said, "Hi, is this still available? And would you ship if I pay?" "Yes, I'm pretty sure I can do that. I'll be in touch later. Very busy right now." "Hey Rachel, I can ship you the backpack and mini bag. Please send me your zip code. I only take check by mail. Is that okay with you? I don't do Venmo or PayPal or anything like that." "Hey Rachel, have you found out if you have checks yet? I have a few people who want to buy the backpack set." "Okay, thank you. I don't feel comfortable sending a check. If you got the check and it cleared, you can easily just not send the bag." So we agreed to do the sale, but she even sent me her zip code, but then she completely backed out, so that's $30 I didn't make. In August when I started this challenge, I made $364.82. And the first amount of money I made in August, well, in the challenge entirely, was waiting for my neighbor and mulching. The job took me around 3 hours, but I was paid $50 for that job. To follow a solid start for the year, I made $915.57 in September. This was the month of soccer reffing and reselling on Facebook Marketplace. The income was really flying in, and I was making over $150 each week continually. And even up until March, this has been the best month of the $10,000 challenge. Closely followed by October, which was another phenomenal month. I made $846.96 in the month of October. October was perfect because my Facebook Marketplace store was thriving. Soccer reffing was at high demand because of fall soccer, and the leaves were falling, which meant that they needed to be raked. I even had a funny money-making idea, which I made $7 from. Did I make any profit? No. It was a loss, but it was a lot of fun. I dressed as a vending machine to school. At first it was slightly embarrassing, but then it became a lot of fun. And I even got a lot of sales for the candy. The only problem was that they were 25 cents each. So yes, I did sell a lot of candy, but it only totaled $7. In the month of November, I made $232.27. My marketplace store on Facebook was doing pretty well, and that's how I made most of the money in the month. I also did a little bit of soccer reffing to boost the income. In December, I made $690.78. The highlight of the month was going to a craft bazaar, which you didn't just have to sell crafts, but basically a big yard sale. Following the craft fair, I found myself at the sports store where I was selling some old sports equipment that I didn't use anymore. I had tried to sell the equipment for more money on Marketplace, but nobody was buying, so I just thought I'd get a little money from the store. Following the Christmas season, I made $258.51 in January. The new year brought at least 3 heavy snowfalls, which was a great way for me to make money. So about 75% of the money I made in January was just from shoveling snow. It was really hard work, but with really good pay. In February, I made $388.23. February was a very cold and wet month, so I didn't do anything except ref Winter League soccer, which pays well, but not as well as the regular season. Now finally, in the month of March, I made $351.37. Better than January, but slightly worse than February. You've officially made it to the end of the video, and if you comment the word subscribe, you will get a pin. Please also like the video if you enjoyed, and do consider subscribing if this video enlightened your day. With all being said, I'll see you next month for April.